Right, with us this morning we have George Parker, political editor of the Financial Times. George, the perceived political wisdom is always that it's the economy, stupid. In the UK context, do you think this is currently true?
I think it is true, and I think it's the one thing hanging over the party conference season this autumn. There's almost a sense of people holding their breath, waiting to see what's going to happen next with the Eurozone, with stock market sensitivities and all the rest of it. And whatever we hear about splits in the coalition on aspects of health policy or education policy or Europe, the truth is the big dividing line and defining issue at the next election will be the economy, and it's always been the case. And you know, George Osborne has focused very much on a growth review this autumn to try to introduce some supply side reforms, but in the end we're very much at the mercy of world markets, and if things start to go wrong, if unemployment starts to creep up, then there will be increased pressure on George Osborne to think again about his economic strategy.
You talked about party conferences a moment ago. Sometimes they are great turning points in the political cycle. In 2011, what do you think, fireworks or damp squib?
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm hoping otherwise, but I think it might be rather a damp squib. I always thought that this party conference season would be about Ed Miliband, about his leadership of the Labour Party, his failure apparently to connect with voters or to present a new idea, a new defining philosophy for the Labour Party. But he had a good few weeks before the summer break. He responded very well to the phone hacking scandal. And as a result, I think he's cemented his position. Nick Clegg, similarly, you know, it looked like he was in really serious trouble when the AV referendum went wrong from his perspective. Bad results in the May local elections. But again, he's found his feet with a fairly strong performance on health. David Cameron, he's had a bad few months, actually, a few self-inflicted errors. He'll need to reassert his authority on the party. But again, you know, the thing hanging over the conference season will be things happening outside of the convention centres in the real world economy.
Let's look a little bit over the longer term. The coalition, as you've just pointed out, has had its ups and downs. Is your view that it's got the stamina to survive until the next election? And perhaps even more interestingly, maybe even beyond?
Well, I think it does have the stamina to survive, and I think they have to hang together in a way because they are committed to an economic strategy which is almost like a do or die political strategy as well. If it works, they expect to get the credit. If it fails, they're going to be in very serious trouble at the next election. But the one thing we do know is it's going to take time to work through. They need to stick together and keep it going through to the election that's planned in 2015. As to the question about whether it might survive after the election, that will be entirely determined by the electoral arithmetic. But as it looks at the moment, there doesn't seem to be any sign that the Conservative Party is breaking into Labour heartlands or that Labour is breaking into Conservative heartlands, which suggests we could end up with a result rather similar to the last election. If that does happen, would David Cameron be unhappy about trying to seek a second coalition term with Nick Clegg? No, I don't think he would. I think personally, given the choice, if he was faced with a choice of a Conservative absolute majority of 5 or 10, or the possibility of a solid working majority working with Nick Clegg, I think he'd probably go for the latter.
We will see. George Parker, thank you very much.